starts with breaking news.
Good afternoon, everyone. We're live at noon tracking severe weather damage after storms tore through our area overnight, knocking out power, toppling trees and damaging homes.
And breaking in the last hour, Senator Bernie Sanders announced he is dropping out of the 2020 presidential race, clearing the way for Joe Biden's Democratic nomination.
Also breaking at noon, 4 more people have died from the coronavirus in Allegheny County. More on those breaking stories over our next few minutes. I'm Peggy Finnegan.
Yeah, good afternoon. I'm Gordon Lash. Right now, more than 35,000 people are without electricity and stuck at home because of the coronavirus.
And we have Team 11 coverage for you at noon, surveying the damage across our area and timing out the rest of the day.
Let's start with severe weather. Team 11 meteorologist Scott Harbaugh. And Scott, how are those next few hours looking?
Now, we're looking pretty good the next couple of hours. I want to show you the storms that just rolled through the area last night. 75-mile-per-hour wind gusts at Pittsburgh International Airport. All the storm damage reports from Mercer County southeast into Westmoreland County. Wind gusts, possible tornado. What I'm showing you right now is our debris detector from Storm Tracker Doppler 11 radar. There's Tarentum. Right in this area right here, that's a tornado debris signature. Special range on the radar called the correlation coefficient. It's a dual pole radar that scans up and down and side by side, can actually depict a debris ball, which is what that was west of Tarentum. So the National Weather Service is going to go up there today, check out to confirm a tornado. We'll hopefully have that for you tonight on Channel 11 News at 5 o'clock. Skies starting to clear a little bit, 61 degrees right now with a little bit of a breeze. The break between systems is short. I'm checking the next round of rain and when that rain's going to change to snow showers. That's coming up in about 15 minutes.
All right, thanks, Scott. We sent Drone 11 over New Kensington this afternoon, where the roof was ripped right off of a church there. The fire department says that all 5 companies in the city had to help stabilize the building, and that's just one of several cases of damage in the area. Channel 11's Liz Kilmer talked to people who live there about these frightening storms.
People in New Kensington got a tornado warning overnight, and then they woke up this morning to debris everywhere and destruction. Take a look. You can see the roof was torn right off of this church where crews are now cleaning up. This all just blocks away from where a business partially collapsed.
I wasn't expecting this. I expected maybe some of the brick or something fell off the back.
But instead, there was major damage to Rick Fowler's New Kensington business. The 3-car garage on the roof of Barron Industries torn right off. Chunks of concrete cracked on the ground. The city under a tornado warning at the time.
Honestly, it's tough.
Debris whipped all around. Paths of destruction also blocks away on Kenneth Avenue, where the roof of St. Mary's Church was ripped off, leaving a large pile of shredded wood and shingles blocking the entire street.
When I heard the wind blowing during the night, I thought, oh, Lord, protect everyone in New Kensington, because it really sounded like a train. Monsignor
Michael Bagali grateful no one was hurt. But with all of this damage, it's just too early, he says, to know what the future may hold for the church, which has stood here for over a century.
So many were baptized and married and confirmed here, celebrated those monumental moments in their life, and it's really going to be tough for them just to come and see this devastation.
And the National Weather Service will be out surveying the damage today to determine whether or not a tornado really touched down, causing all of this destruction. We'll have the very latest for you tonight at 5. Reporting in New Kensington, I'm Liz Kilmer, Channel 11 News.
You can hear them cleaning up there. Take a look at this video now of lightning in North Baldwin. A viewer sent this video to us from outside his house overnight, and you can see those lightning strikes continue just to light up the sky.
Crews are working to restore power in Elwood City after a huge tree came down overnight, knocking out power lines. Channel 11's Mike Holden got an up-close look at the aftermath.
Every which way you turn out here in Elwood City, you'll spot damage. Neighbors are now working to determine what they're going to do next, but they tell me they're grateful no one was hurt or killed. Mother Nature packed a punch, and the folks living along Glen Avenue in Elwood City felt it firsthand. This is the aftermath. The winds and rain were so powerful, they took out this 80-foot-tall tree. It came crashing down, hitting 3 cars before resting in the middle of the road, blocking all traffic. It created a chain reaction of damage. 5 power poles toppled over, and dozens of wires were pulled down in multiple directions. Neighbors say it was right around 1 a.m. when they felt the chain change. Winds kicked up, rain poured down, and then hail followed. They say the site is truly surreal and some of the worst damage they've seen in years.
I can't believe that thing got picked up and pulled out of there like it did. And like you said earlier, that's 80 feet. And it's probably about this big around.
And you can hear a lot of debris hitting the windows, and that's why I knew I thought it hit hail, you know. So I ran downstairs and I looked out the back window, and it just stuff blowing everywhere. It looked like hail hitting the window.
And as you can see right here behind me, Elwood City Police are still blocking the roadway, preventing anyone from getting closer to the accident site. Coming up on Channel 11 News at 5, we're talking with more neighbors. They're weighing in about their growing concerns, plus how this damage is impacting their daily routine as they're stuck at home due to the coronavirus. Reporting in Elwood City, Mike Holden, Channel 11 News.
Thanks, Mike. And Channel 11 is committed to keeping you safe and up to date during severe weather. You can also get up-to-the-minute weather alerts, hourly forecasts, and interactive radar on our WPXI weather app. Breaking right now, Allegheny County just announced 4 more coronavirus deaths.
There are also 31 new cases since yesterday, bringing the county total to 720 cases. Of those patients, 111 have been hospitalized. With these additional deaths, the death toll now in Allegheny County stands at 10.
And in just the last 15 minutes, we learned an inmate at the Allegheny County Jail has tested positive. We're told that person and their cellmate have both been quarantined since their symptoms started. The jail has been restricting visitors, screening for symptoms, and stressing social distancing since last month. Breaking in the last hour, Senator Bernie Sanders is calling it quits. He just announced he is dropping out of the 2020 race, the move clearing the way for Joe Biden's Democratic nomination and a showdown with President Donald Trump in November. Sanders made the announcement in a call with his campaign staff this morning.
An airman with the 911th Airlift Wing has tested positive. This is the first case at the Air Reserve Station. Officials say the reservist has no history of travel to high-risk areas and has not been at the base since February. The airman is in isolation at home. 10 members of the 911th Airlift Wing were deployed to New York City on Sunday. They're joining a team of more than 125 airmen who will help medical teams and first responders there.
Governor Wolf has ordered all Commonwealth flags lowered to half-staff to honor the coronavirus victims. The governor says he hopes it brings some comfort to their grieving families. The flags will stay at half-staff until further notice.
State police are clamping down on the statewide stay-at-home order. So far, only 2 citations and 6 warnings have been issued for people violating the order. Those are not big numbers, but troopers warn they could grow if people don't listen. Keep in mind, a person can't just be stopped for violating the order. It is a secondary offense, meaning there must be first another reason for that traffic stop.
Despite the virus, voters headed to the polls yesterday in Wisconsin. We won't know the results, though, until next week. The governor there did try to cancel in-person voting last minute, but the Supreme Court said the rules could not be changed. For those who did vote in person, they were greeted by long lines because the state closed a number of polling locations. The results are delayed to give people a few more days to mail in their absentee ballots.
An update now, the British Prime Minister's coronavirus case. Boris Johnson's spokesman says he is stable and responding to treatment, but he remains in the intensive care unit and he is not working. Meanwhile, President Trump is on the defense about his response to the pandemic. NBC's Tracy Potts explains why.
Within a couple of days, the cases will be down to...
President Trump reacting to a New York Times report that he downplayed the coronavirus pandemic as a close advisor warned it could kill millions of Americans.
You have to understand, I'm a cheerleader for this country. I don't want to create havoc and shock and everything else.
The president blames the World Health Organization.
They called it wrong. They called it wrong. They missed the call. They could have called it months earlier.
And he's defending small business loans that got off to a rocky start with $90 billion in requests stuck in red tape.
We need the PPP to enable us to resume operations, rehire our staffs, pay our bills. It's extremely urgent.
The Treasury Secretary,
the money, you'll get it the same day,
now says
we want to assure the workers that if you don't get the loan this week, there'll be plenty of money for you next week.
In New York City, 20% of the police force is out sick, even as New York State sees its deadliest day with one person dying every 2 minutes. The governor says there's hope.
3-day average is down, which is good news.
But not a reason to leave home.
People start going out again and socially interacting, we could see a very acute second wave very early.
Dr. Deborah Birx of the Coronavirus Task Force on the Today Show this morning urging Americans to still stay inside and stay 6 feet apart. Today, President Trump is set to meet with mental health professionals to talk about how you get people through this, the sadness and the stress and the anxiety and the loss caused by this virus. Tracy Potts, NBC News.
We are starting to see more bizarre and disturbing cases of people coughing on each other. A Newcastle man is facing charges after police say he intentionally coughed on employees at a convenience store. It happened at the Speedway on North Jefferson Street. Employees refused to sell cigarettes to Michael Queer because he didn't have an ID. They say he got angry and coughed toward them, saying he had coronavirus, and he's now facing a long list of charges. And a similar incident in Fayette County. Police are looking for this person they say went into the Vanderbilt Sweet Peas service station saying he had COVID-19. He coughed in the direction of cashiers and customers, then lifted a plastic barrier and continued to cough. Officials with the State Labor Department are apologizing for long wait times after nearly 1 million people filed for unemployment. Right now, they say nearly half of the claims have been processed. They're also bringing back retired workers and using staff from other departments to help with the rest. You can use the WPXI News app to learn about the unemployment compensation process and see if you are eligible.
Many of us are worried we or someone we know might have COVID-19. Why the FDA says certain tests can't be trusted.
Plus, see how a local surgeon and fashion designer are teaming up to protect healthcare workers.
The break from rain is short, but I'm also updating a snowfall map. You're heading to Friday. I'll have it for you when we come back.
During this time of crisis, Pittsburghers always come together.
If shelters are going to euthanize because of a lack of food, you better believe we can do something about it.
We're willing to work to get the food into the hands of those who need it.
Channel 11 salutes the
Near you, Channel 11 is there.
Aliquippa, Coraopolis, Moon. We cover news everywhere you live.
That's what makes Channel 11 News different.
We're in McCandless, Cranberry, Butler. For news from where you live,
watch Channel 11 News at 5.
Watch David Johnson and Peggy Finnegan on Channel 11 News at 5.
A local surgeon is teaming up with a fashion designer to help protect the public and frontline workers. Together, they created 412 PPE. They make reusable masks with replacement filters. Channel 11's Jillian Hartman found out how the project came together.
Well, this is the new normal for people here in Pennsylvania, wearing a mask out in public. But N95 masks, like this one right here, are in short supply and needed for healthcare workers. So a local doctor and fashion designer here in Pittsburgh teamed up to create an alternative.
We set out to make a reusable, sterilizable mask with a disposable filter insert.
The filter is key, and Dr. Paranjape says it adds an extra layer of protection.
You can buy a commercially available filter which will filter down to the micron level. You can cut it to fit the mask and use that as a disposable insert every time you use the mask.
She says the mask can be thrown in the washer and be reused over and over again. Her friend and fashion designer, Deanna Macetic, went from making dresses to making these masks now in her boutique in Shadyside.
We are trying to make that perfect fit. This is where I, as a fashion designer, can really help.
She is used to paying attention to detail.
You can see there's no gap here, no gap here, no gap here, so we are sealed as much as we can.
The project is called 412 PPE, and for every mask a civilian buys, one will be donated to local healthcare workers. Huge advocates for this project include Pittsburgh legend Franco Harris and his son.
Here in Pittsburgh, we're all teammates. And it used to be wearing your helmet, wearing your pads, suiting up before a game, and wearing your mask is now suiting up before you go outside.
Right now, they are ramping up production to make these masks available as soon as possible.
Spreading coronavirus is a huge issue, and we now know that you can spread it just by talking to somebody, just by breathing on somebody.
And that's why it's very important to wear a mask out in public. Now, they'll soon be taking orders on their website. For that link, just head over to our WPXI News app. Reporting in Pittsburgh, I'm Jillian Hartman, Channel 11 News.
Getting work done from home isn't easy, and the internet certainly plays a big part right now. But what if you don't have access at your home? In fact, 19 million Americans living in rural or poor communities don't have access to high-speed internet. And with many states on stay-at-home orders, that means free Wi-Fi at places like libraries or coffee shops is off limits. The $2 trillion stimulus package is hoping to help with $100 million to build and upgrade rural broadband networks. Some lawmakers say that doesn't go far enough, and they're pushing for more money in the next stimulus package to be considered.
Now to a consumer alert. The FDA is warning everyone about at-home COVID-19 test kits. These are advertisements for COVID-19 rapid finger prick tests that were online. These ads promised results in 3 to 10 minutes at their own home and even said the tests were selling out. But the FDA says they have not approved any test that is available to take at home. We also tracked down the creator of these tests. They say those tests should only be used in labs. And after Channel 11 began investigating, the ads from compassionate certification centers were removed.
Passover begins tonight for the Jewish faith, and like Easter, it will have to be celebrated from home. The celebration traditionally includes a ceremonial meal called the Seder. Passover is often a time when families get together and strangers are welcomed into Jewish homes. The holiday officially begins at sunset. It lasts through April 16th. Meanwhile, some Catholics will celebrate Good Friday at Paris's Notre Dame Cathedral. 1 year after that devastating fire, only 7 people will gather inside on Friday, most of them priests. People will be able to watch from home or listen on the radio. That terrible fire happened last April 15th. France says they still hope to finish the restoration of Notre Dame in 5 years.
Once Disney parks reopen, you may have to get your temperature checked before entering. A Disney executive says temperature screenings are a possibility at security checkpoints, both to meet health guidelines and make visitors feel safe. The parks in Florida and California remain closed because of the coronavirus.
Your severe weather Team 11 forecast.
It's turned out to be a relatively pleasant afternoon. Good deal of sunshine moving in. Temperatures comfortable for this time of the year, but we had all that storm damage last night. A lot of folks spending much of the day today cleaning up across the area. Here's the visible satellite. There goes the cloud cover. So south of Pittsburgh, still some fairly decent cloud cover. We will continue to clear it out the rest of the afternoon today. So getting the dogs out this afternoon, 66 degrees at 2 o'clock, partly sunny skies, sunshine at 5. Clear at 8 o'clock tonight, 64, and at 8 o'clock there'll still be some twilight too because the sun now doesn't set until almost 7:50. Showers do return late tonight. Could be an isolated rumble of thunder too late tonight. Nothing severe, certainly nothing like what we had last night, but just a quick clap of thunder 3, 4, 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. Then tomorrow, scattered showers. I think there'll be one round in the morning, then a break, then some more showers during the afternoon. And that breeze picking up too. 55 for the high temperature tomorrow. That will be about 11 o'clock in the morning. Falling temperatures during the afternoon. Then most of you are not going to like what's going to come after that. Here's Storm Tracker. 4:30 tomorrow morning as we're hitting the air on Channel 11 Morning News. Could be a couple claps of thunder down into Garrett County, also up into Clarion, Forest, and Jefferson counties. Now by 8 a.m., rain fairly widespread. There will be some breaks, and this will taper off late morning. So notice by noon, things looking pretty good. Front has passed through. Then the cold air advection starts to set in during the afternoon. What that is, we start to get the northwest winds. The air aloft much colder than the air at the surface, so the clouds start to build again during the afternoon, and we start to pop rain showers again tomorrow afternoon. Okay, fine, it's April. We get used to some rain showers from time to time. However, as cold air moves in tomorrow night, notice by the time we get to midnight tomorrow night, the rain showers have changed over to snow showers. And we're going to do some scattered snow showers tomorrow night into first thing Friday morning. As a matter of fact, 7:30 Friday morning. Snow flurries and snow showers fairly widespread. Now, the snow showers will be light, and most temperatures will be 32 degrees or above Friday morning. So if anything sticks, it's going to be mulch beds, rooftops, grassy surfaces, and we're talking like trace amounts. You might pick up an inch or so in the mountains through noon Friday, but everywhere else, just trace amounts, just enough to remind us that it is still April, and we got very lucky this winter with the snowfall. If you don't like it, so we got to pay a little bit at the end just to make things seem a bit more even. 55 tomorrow afternoon with those showers off and on throughout the day tomorrow. Then morning flurries on Friday. Chief Meteorologist Stephen Cropper, who was in late last night covering the tornado warnings across the area, will be in again this evening with updated timing on when those rain showers will change to snow showers. 42 for the high temperature on Friday. Weekend looking pretty good. And I know it's not going to be a typical Easter weekend for a lot of folks, but it is still Eastern. 54 degrees on Saturday with mostly sunny skies. Easter Sunday itself, a couple showers in the afternoon, but the bulk of the day will be dry and a high temperature of 67 degrees.
All could be hijacked. How hackers are taking advantage of a boom in coronavirus Zoom calls.
Plus, why some big-name retailers may not make it through this pandemic.
As we face this uncertainty of what's to come, we know you have a lot of questions. That's why our team is getting answers from the experts.
Can you still be contagious after the quarantine period? Luckily, the answer here is no.
Let's break down what this means for you. $1,200 would be given to individuals, $2,400 to couples.
The CDC says the risk of infection from delivery packages is likely very low.
In a time of crisis, turn to Channel
forecast, now on your screen all the time on Channel 11 News.
Some tough news from Pittsburgh-based Dick's Sporting Goods. The company will furlough a significant number of employees starting on Sunday. The workers will still have their benefits. More than 800 of their stores are closed right now. The company says small groups will continue to work in some stores, distribution centers, and in the corporate office.
Talk a lot about struggling small businesses, but they're not the only ones getting hammered. Some of the country's longest standing and well-known names may not make it through this. A CNN business story says that stores that were struggling pre-pandemic may not be able to come out on the other side. Sears, JCPenney, Neiman Marcus, and J.Crew all had huge debt before having to close their stores. And your local movie theater could remain dark even after the outbreak ends. Financial analysts say AMC is struggling with a $5 billion debt, and their credit rating was just downgraded. The theater chain has been closed since mid-March. Facebook has created a new app for couples to connect during this time of social distancing. It's called Tuned, and it's essentially an online scrapbook that can be shared by two people. You can link your Spotify accounts and send pictures and voice memos. It's not clear if Facebook created the app because of the coronavirus or if it's just a coincidence.
Still ahead, how the CDC is backpedaling on a drug that the president has touted as a possible coronavirus treatment.
Another round of rain about 12 hours away. I'm tracking who's going to see the first drops across the area.
This is Channel 11 News 11 at 11. Accurate details, experienced coverage, trusted weather source.
Heavier snowfall moving through Westmoreland County.
All in the first 11 minutes of our newscast. Count on Channel 11 News 11 at 11.
News and NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
We're a team you can count on to cover stories that impact your life.
Whether it's across the street or around the world.
Channel 11 News at 6.
And NBC Nightly News at 6:30.
Make sure you know everything happening in the morning. Watch Channel 11 Morning News.
Severe Weather Team 11 back tracking damage across the area. A Channel 11 viewer emailed us these pictures from West Tarentum.
This tree was pulled up right from the root. You can see the tree came down on a car and onto a guide rail. Meteorologist Scott Harbaugh joins us now. And Scott, the good news is the rest of today is going to be mild.
Yeah, mild and quiet the rest of the afternoon today. A lot of folks, unfortunately, have cleanup to do from storm damage last night. I wanted to backtrack Storm Tracker Doppler 11 radar to just about midnight last night. Chief Meteorologist Stephen Cropper was here late last night tracking these storms into the area. Then I joined him about 1 o'clock in the morning. We had the tornado warning for Beaver County, northeastern Allegheny County. Look at all the storm reports coming in, wind damage reports, hail reports, although the hail was a little more hit and miss, but the wind damage reports all over the place with these storms that came through. What usually happens after a storm system comes through is you usually get these clearing skies on the backside. That is setting us up for a pretty decent afternoon. 61 right now in Pittsburgh with that west-northwest wind at 13 miles per hour. We'll make it to 68 this afternoon. Now, showers back tonight, and the rain will eventually change to some snow showers. I'm putting together a new storm tracker right now for updated timing. I'll have that coming up this half hour.
Breaking right now, the first person in Westmoreland County has died from coronavirus. There are also more than 1,600 new cases across the state, bringing the total now to more than 16,000. 70 more people have died, and the death toll now stands at 310. Here at home, there are now 128 cases in Beaver County. Butler County has 113 cases, Fayette County has 35, and Washington County has 59. Westmoreland County has 183. You know, the numbers of deaths in our area can seem daunting, but there are harder hit regions in Pennsylvania. The deaths in our area make up 9% of deaths statewide. And the CDC is reporting a nationwide survival rate of 96.7%. Now we are learning of another outbreak of COVID-19, this time at an Allegheny County nursing home. We just got an update on a Kane nursing home in Glen Hazel. 18 residents and 13 staff have now tested positive there.
And this comes as St. Barnabas in Gibsonia sadly lost 2 of its residents to the coronavirus. Channel 11's Amy Hudak has more on these challenging times.
What we're seeing is what our top healthcare leaders feared but predicted: a rise in COVID-19 cases among the most vulnerable, those in nursing homes.
It bothers me a lot because a stranger held his hand while he was dying and not me.
They're heartbreaking stories. Family members not able to say goodbye to loved ones dying from COVID-19 in nursing homes. Earl Denbo Jr. is one of 3 people who died from coronavirus at Brighton Rehabilitation and Wellness in Beaver County. So far, 52 people, including residents and staff, have tested positive. Family members of some healthcare workers are so upset, they're now protesting.
It's very scary, and some of the stories I hear from inside, it's just not good.
Channel 11 learned Tuesday that 2 people died from COVID-19 at St. Barnabas in Gibsonia, and 18 others, including a staff member, tested positive. Patients with confirmed cases are being kept in isolation pods in a corner of the building. COVID-19 is also sweeping through the Glen Hazel location of Kane Community Living Center. 29 people, including 18 residents and 11 staff members, have tested positive. The facility is now taking strict measures to prevent the spread of the virus. All staff members are being screened for fevers when they get to work and when they leave for the day. And all residents are being screened for symptoms at shift change. No deaths have been reported at any of Kane's 4 facilities in Allegheny County. Nursing homes around the region are bracing for the coming days and weeks when cases are expected to climb. On top of having residents who are very high risk, many of these patients are also in very confined spaces, making it very difficult to get rid of this virus once it gets in. On the North Shore, Amy Hudak, Channel 11 News.
New at noon, the Allegheny County Controller is demanding more information on the safety measures being taken at the Kane facilities. Chelsea Wagner sent a letter to Allegheny County Executive Rich Fitzgerald saying she's heard from Kane employees who say basic precautions are not being taken and that they don't have enough personal protective equipment. Wagner is asking county leaders for a response to these concerns. We'll be staying on top of this and bring you any updates as we get them.
The Centers for Disease Control has updated its website on the use of hydroxychloroquine for the coronavirus. The site previously had dosage and duration guidelines, but those have been removed. President Trump has touted the drug as a possible treatment, even though the FDA has not approved it as a treatment for COVID-19. But after reports it could help, the agency has issued an emergency use authorization to distribute it.
Meanwhile, doctors say the drug can also pose heart risks, so that's why a new study is starting. Vanderbilt University is enrolling patients in a clinical trial. The drug treats malaria and lupus, but some doctors say they're giving it to COVID-19 patients who are in bad shape, and they are seeing an improvement. It's a discussion the doctors have with families to weigh the risk versus the benefit. Other experts say it needs a thorough review first.
All looking for better treatments for COVID, and it's only through the use of these trials of several different kinds of treatment candidates that we'll find out what the best way forward is.
Once the study has enough people, it will go fairly quickly, perhaps wrapping up in as little as 2 weeks or a month.
Fingers crossed. Big news for those living with diabetes. Insulin maker Eli Lilly says it will limit the out-of-pocket cost of insulin to $35 a month as millions of people struggle financially because of this pandemic. This program is open to insured and uninsured people with type 1 diabetes, but it is not available to people on Medicaid, Medicare, or Medicare Part D. Zoom has become incredibly popular during this coronavirus pandemic. The video conferencing company recently surpassed 200 million daily users, but we are learning about a vulnerability in Zoom and other teleconferencing software. Channel 11's Rick Earl found out how video calls are being hijacked and what you can do about it.
As more and more people are turning to video teleconferencing to stay connected these days, the U.S. Attorney right here in Pittsburgh and the State Attorney General are issuing a warning about crashing online meetings. It's called Zoom bombing or video hacking, and federal and state law enforcement agencies have seen an increase of uninvited hackers disrupting conferences and even online classrooms with pornographic images, messages of hate, and threatening language. Pennsylvania Attorney General Josh Shapiro today putting down his foot.
We don't want people intruding upon it, and certainly we don't want people sharing the kinds of images and doing the kinds of destructive things they've been doing on this platform.
The hackers have targeted religious communities, minority groups, and even online meetings such as Alcoholics Anonymous. Zoom has already made some changes to improve security. And the U.S. Attorney and Attorney General are now issuing recommended guidelines. Among them, make sure the meeting or classroom is private. Provide a link directly to specific people, and manage screen sharing options. In Zoom, change it to host only.
We want to make sure, though, that, right now what people can do is have their conference calls, have their video conferences in a safe and secure way and not have to worry about this. It'll be our job to worry about it. We just want people to go about their business.
Anyone caught hacking into a teleconference could be charged with state or federal crimes, among them computer intrusion or disrupting a public meeting. They both carry the possibility of fines and jail time. Rick Earl, Channel 11 News.
A bright spot for athletes, the changes that will let some compete in the Olympics when they're finally held in 2021.
As you can see, David and I are apart right now practicing social distancing, but we have been together for 30 years covering important news stories here in Pittsburgh.
That's right, Peggy. We've seen our communities come together through natural disasters, tragedies, and triumphs.
We've made it through those tough times, and we'll make it through this.
Pittsburgh, we are here for you every morning, throughout the day, and every night.
We'll get through this challenge together. coverage where you live.
On Channel 11 News.
The number of coronavirus cases confirmed and deaths continue to grow by the day. Now, some models show a statewide spike in cases could be coming very soon. It's something hospital systems like UPMC say they're ready for. One model predicts Saturday will be the peak of the strain on Pennsylvania hospitals, with more coronavirus patients requiring hospitalization. There is not expected to be a shortage of hospital beds, but the model predicts 267 ventilators would be needed.
We began thinking and planning for this back in January, and we have lots of capacity that was present then, plus even more for both those ICU beds and ventilator use.
That modeling from the University of Washington assumes full social distancing in Pennsylvania through May.
We know the 2020 Tokyo Summer Olympic Games are postponed, but the good news is nearly 6,500 athletes will get to keep their spots for next year. This year's events were rescheduled because of the coronavirus. The International Olympic Committee says athletes are allowed to keep the spots they had already earned. They're also relaxing the age requirements in boxing and gymnastics. The IOC says the health of the athletes will be the guiding principle for any future events.
The coronavirus pandemic is not stopping people from fishing. Trout season is officially underway in Pennsylvania. The state planned to start the season on April 18th. Instead, the Fish and Boat Commission opened the season yesterday. The commission is asking everyone to follow social distancing rules and limit travel by fishing close to home.
Obviously, we're keeping busy. This local farmers market is at your service. How they're working safely with smiles beneath their masks.
Plus, I'm tracking rain and snow showers. I got the latest timing for your neighborhood coming up.
You're streaming WPXI now. Channel 11 expands its streaming live newscasts. When other stations are national, Channel 11 News is local, right here at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. on WPXI Now. Every voice, every vote matters. From the campaign trail to your backyard, we're talking to the candidates about the big issues and to the voters who will decide the election. Channel 11 News, Decision 2020 coverage you can count on.
Watch Channel 11 News at 6.
Followed by NBC Nightly News at 6:30.
Take a look at this video from Butler County. A farmer's market is joining the ranks of stores offering curbside pickup. But as Channel 11's Amy Marcinkowitz found out, there's no app here, just good old-fashioned communications and common sense protection.
To keep employees and customers as safe as possible, not one customer has walked through this door here at Butler Farm Market in 2 weeks.
So I got 5 each artichokes, 1 half-pound chipped ham, 1 half-pound Albert's Jumbo sliced thick.
This mom-and-pop shop is going old school, offering takeout groceries, drive-through style.
About every time I turned around, my older employees asked me if they could have 2 weeks vacation starting immediately. So I knew that if I was going to keep the store open and operate, I had to change the program.
The owner came up with a quick, creative way to keep his employees working, the community stocked up as safely as possible. One employee writes down the order, another does the shopping, and then there's the runner who delivers to the car.
I think it's excellent. More people should do it.
The whole process takes about 20 minutes. No real physical interaction, but you can see the appreciation.
Have a nice day.
Thank you. You too.
We had about 1,200 people through here a day, touching everything. You know, really busy, everybody filling their freezers. And now I think the customers feel safe and the employees feel safe, and it's working. Obviously, we're keeping busy.
The owner tells me he will be keeping this curbside service up for as long as it takes. Amy Marcinkowitz, Channel 11 News.
Across the country and here in Pennsylvania, there's concern for the African-American community. New numbers show that they are at a higher risk of getting COVID-19 and having a harder time getting quality medical care. According to NBC News, African-Americans are dying at a higher rate than others. In Louisiana alone, African-Americans account for 70% of the deaths. The trend is also being seen in cities like Chicago, Detroit, and Philadelphia. The federal government does not track coronavirus cases by demographics. State health officials say they need to start.
One of the challenges we've had is that the healthcare systems don't tend to put in racial data, and so that's a limitation for us. But we are looking at different ways that we might get that information.
President Donald Trump says his administration is doing everything in its power to address the challenge.
Your severe weather Team 11 forecast.
A live look at our PennDOT cameras this hour. Route 28, Edna right now. Sun breaking out between the clouds. I mean, this is just a statement of what it's like lately. I mean, Route 28 during the noontime hour got 1, 2, 3, 4 cars within view right now. This is I-79 Deer Run. You can see the clouds breaking apart. Neville Island Bridge in the background. So a decent afternoon. A little breezy this afternoon, but temperatures will be comfortable. Head up into Butler County, Cranberry right now. I-79, Route 19 again breaks in the sun. So one of those afternoons, at least for the next couple of hours, sun will come out, go back behind the clouds, come out again. We'll do that dance through about 4 or 5 this afternoon. Still cooler up into Franklin, 54 degrees right now. Butler 63, Pittsburgh currently at 61 degrees and 59 right now in Washington. Heading through the afternoon, those clouds will continue to scour out, so skies will clear out later today, and then we'll get a bit of a break until we get to late tonight. Then we'll start to bring in some more showers. So I want to get the kids outside, shake off a little cabin fever today. 68 degrees at 4 o'clock, 68 at 6 this afternoon. Again, plenty of sunshine. Keep in mind, this time of the year, sun angle is starting to get pretty high. If you do take the kids outside, SPF 30 or better, please, this afternoon. High temperatures late today, mainly mid to upper 60s, so very comfortable for this time of the year and running a couple degrees above normal. Tonight, showers roll in late tonight, and there could be a clap of thunder again, too, although better chance of severe weather well south of our area tonight. Still, quick thunderstorm possible during the overnight hours, then tomorrow, scattered showers, breezy at times. 55 for the high. That will be about 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. Downward trend in the afternoon. Much colder air working in for tomorrow night and Friday. Here's Storm Tracker. 3:30 tomorrow morning, showers coming in again. Quick clap of thunder, certainly possible. There will be some areas of rain around by about 8 o'clock in the morning. Then as we go through the day tomorrow, notice by noon, we push the showers to the south. Get a couple hours of a break. Now, don't get me wrong, it's going to be breezy. It's going to be mild tomorrow, but as the afternoon progresses, clouds fill back in. Here come the showers, then much colder air. Tomorrow night, going to start to pull some snow showers down into the area. By the time we get to midnight tomorrow night, snow showers up into Butler, Beaver, Lawrence County, Allegheny, Washington County. And we're going to start Friday morning with some flurries and some snow showers. And this is not the last we're going to see. I've been looking at some long-range models for next week. I can see 2 more legitimate shots at picking up some snowflakes. Now, I'm not saying anything is going to stick to the ground, but I'm also not saying that it's not going to stick to the ground either, because there's one decent shot next week, especially for the mountains. 5-day forecast with your weekend always in view. Only 42 for the high temperature on Friday with those morning flurries. Saturday, Sunshine, cold start, decent finish, 54 for a high temperature. Then Sunday, that's Easter Sunday, a couple afternoon showers. Rest of the day looks pretty good and a high temperature of 67 degrees.
If you like getting information about new products and how to save money, then you're really going to like Local Steals and Deals. Lisa Robertson has what you need to know.
Hi, my name is Lisa Robertson. I'm coming to you once again from home, where we all are. But one of the things that is very important right now is really thinking about helping small businesses in this country as we all go through a difficult time. And Bobbi Brown has always been a woman with a unique vision of beauty, and she has a brand new project, Evolution 18. Bobbi, how are you?
Hi, Lisa. I'm very well. Nice to talk to you.
So, Bobbi, one of the things that I love is that you've always had a unique vision of beauty, and now you have a concept of beauty that is changing the way we think of beauty from the inside out.
I realized a long time ago that what you put in your body is even more important than what you put on your face, because health and wellness is really the secret of beauty. And these will help your skin, help your hair, and help your nails.
I love that. And I wanted to just touch base very quickly on your favorite bundle. So what are these two great ideas?
I put these together because Beauty De-Bloat, it is a combination of dandelion, hydrangea, apple cider vinegar, ashwagandha, green tea, and it really helps move the water through your body and give you energy. And then the Beauty Probiotics are basically a very high strain of probiotics that dissolves on your tongue and literally tastes like a sweet tart.
I love that. So this is Bobbi's favorites. We also have a great beauty bundle.
Yes, the beauty bundle are two things that are going to really help with your beauty. First of all, the beauty gummy, it's got biotin, and then the beauty glow actually really does help your skin. So it's not a lot, but it's enough that's going to make a difference in how you feel, and it'll make a difference in how you look.
I want to thank Bobbi, by the way. She is really bringing us an amazing offer to help us out today, which is 30% off both of these great packages. Bobbi, thank you so much. Please take care of yourself.
Thank you so much.
And you can find this and more great ideas on localsteals.com to make your time right now a little better. Thank you.
History is happening right before our eyes.
Yeah, how you can help the Heinz History Center make sure you never forget about it.
Channel 11's experienced team of investigators is committed to getting you answers about coronavirus, providing in-depth coverage to help you understand the local impact of this global story.
The governor says everyone should now wear a mask when out in public.
What went into the decisions that led to many of these closures?
And promising to keep facts ahead of fear.
Now, if you have a question about whether something is fact or fiction related to the coronavirus, send me a message.
Count on 11 Investigates on Channel 11 News. News 11 at 11. 11 minutes of news and weather before the first commercial.
New video of a light show in Wuhan, China. The city is celebrating lifting its 11-week lockdown. The end of the lockdown means residents can once again travel in the city where the coronavirus pandemic began. Passengers were seen boarding the first train to travel out of the city. Wuhan's 11 million residents are allowed to leave as long as they're healthy and have not had contact with someone who has the virus. But they must have a data tracking app on their phone and adhere to government surveillance to make sure of this.
If you are documenting your pandemic story with pictures or other items, the Heinz History Center might want them. According to the Trib, the center is collecting materials from residents that show local response and how the region continued to work, learn, and communicate. That includes documents, pictures, videos, school lesson plans, and more. If you'd like to donate, contact the Heinz History Center.
A show of support for our hometown heroes. Last night, local communities took part in an illumination ovation. People came outside with flashlights and even set off some fireworks. They cheered for healthcare workers, first responders, and essential employees who are getting us through this pandemic. A lot of great support out there.
Yeah, thanks to all of them. That's all for Channel 11 News at noon. Our next newscast comes up tonight at 5 o'clock.
Thanks for watching. Be safe and stay healthy.
Coronavirus can't keep this local teacher from her students. Reading, teaching, and